Hello, and welcome to the Pottervision podcast, the podcast where every other week, myself, Lukas, Kirkby, and a gentleman, I hasten to add, Tom Lawrenson, we talk about a chapter of the Harry Potter books, and other things, actually. It's not all Harry Potter, you know. This week, we're on episode 104, and we're on chapter 9 of the Order of the Phoenix, The Woes of Mrs. Weasley. Whoa! Well, and I will wish, for our regular podcast the first time, a very happy new year to Tom Lawrenson. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year to you, Lou, Cass, and for the lack of a better surname, Kirkby.
Exactly. Hey, have you got any New Year's resolutions this year, Tom?
No, I'm perfect.
Yeah, good. If you'd have told me you had a resolution, I would have shouted at you. Because you are the perfect man, woman, or child.
Well, it is funny. People always feel like they need New Year's resolutions because December is always such a car crash. Like, you feel like I have to become a new person because for the month of December, you indulge so much, drinking, eating, it's non-stop, where you get to yourself in a state where by the end of December, beginning of January, you're like, well, something's got to change. I can't carry on like this. And see, like, you feel like you need resolutions. If we just got rid of December, we wouldn't have this, like, car crash of a month where we could just carry on this continuous improvement without losing it all in December. But, yes, I aim to... I've looked at my routine and I took some photos of myself near naked.
No. A bit saucy for our listeners.
I did not like what I saw. And so I've decided to make some changes. Yeah, I mean, this has been ongoing for the past beginning of however long we've been doing this podcast.
Yeah.
But I thought, I was like, I'm not that bad. But then I compared a picture of myself to a year ago, and I was like...
It was a big difference, was it?
Well, about 1.5 stone difference. So I was like, oh...
Well, I remember when we first did this podcast, I was on my weight loss journey, where I think I'd lost about 20 kilos or something ridiculous like that. But... you know, life happens and, you know, you eat burgers.
Well, it's non-stop, innit? You don't have a moment to yourself. Non-stop. You got to be a very disciplined person to be able to, you know, juggle work, play, massive changes, and a healthy diet. Good Lord!
And if you are one of those... work, play, massive changes, and healthy diet jugglers, we salute you. Well done, you. That is a massive feat, or a thin feat, as you might have thin feet.
If you want. Anyway, have you got any New Year's resolutions?
I am going to live, laugh, love. I'm going to dance like nobody's watching. I'm going to talk like nobody's listening. Yeah? I have got my whole life ahead of me and I'm going to live it. No regrets. Yeah?
You're going to talk like nobody's listening. Don't do that. You get us cancelled, you.
Yeah. No, I'm a bit like you. I think if you set yourself because New Year's resolutions are normally like massive, aren't they? And then when you know, don't do it, you feel disappointed, don't you? You think, hey, I'm going to go on a walk every day for the next year, at least an hour's walk. And then by the 7th, you're like, I don't want to go.
Yeah, it's a bit boring, that. I know, but you got to get addicted. You got to turn these things into habits. Not just for like, you know, it's not about looking good. Baby, it's about feeling good within yourself.
Feeling good within myself? What do you mean, Raggy?
No more 10-layer sandwiches for you, Scoob.
Look, I don't want you having to dislocate your jaw to be able to swallow your meals whole. Why don't you take little bites? Yeah?
I was last night's panto.
Hey, it was very good. Hey, a couple of funny things happened yesterday with panto. So the first thing that happened was we're in the middle of... There's a scene that we do. It's in most pantos. It's called the ghost gag. Well, there's usually about 4 or 5 actors on stage, and they start singing a song, and one by one, a ghost or a monster or whatever comes on and scares them away. So we were doing that.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the ghost gag, I notice that there's a scrunched up piece of paper on the front of the stage, right, like in a bowl. And I'm thinking, oh, that's from the school scene with those scrunched up paper. So I thought, it looks a bit weird being on the stage, so I'll kick it off while I'm dancing, right? So I'm dancing like this, right, it's Saucepan Fach, it's a Welsh classic, right? So I'm dancing around, right, and I walk forward and I kick the ball of paper. But because I was dancing, or because I had some adrenaline, I kicked it a little bit harder than I was hoping to. And basically I booted a piece of paper at a little girl in the front row. And I hit her on the head with a piece of paper. So much so that the other actors mentioned it. Yeah, so I'm going Saucepan Fach and better we out of town. Boof. And then hit a kid with a piece of paper. Yeah. But then afterwards, after the show, we take pictures downstairs. You experienced that yourself, didn't you, when you came along?
Yeah,
Came downstairs for a picky. And I come down, and this woman, she's got like long grey hair, right? She must have been about in her 70s or her 80s. She comes up to me and she goes, "You don't recognise me, do you?" I go, no, I don't. She goes, "I'm your cousin." She's about 80. Right, she goes, "I'm your cousin." And I'm like, "Are you?" And she goes, "Yeah. Your Uncle Gwyn and your Auntie Mary." I was like,
"They're me mum."
I've not got an Uncle Gwyn or an Auntie Mary. I don't know who you think I am. But I'm not your cousin. But I am. I'm your cousin. And then she walked off. I think she was a bit annoyed. But she must have thought I was somebody else.
Do you not remember playing with me when we were kids?
And, she must have been about 50 years older than me. Bloody hell, Nana had a big gap, didn't she? You don't recognise me? We're cousins. I'm your cousin. I'm your brother. No, you're not my brother. That's being silly.
Our parents are siblings.
I don't think they are.
Your dad comes in. That's right. That's my niece.
Yeah, I even thought of it like that. It's my dad's niece. She's in her 70s. Yeah. I don't know. I felt like I wanted to pursue the conversation further to see how she'd got to that conclusion. But then we had other people wanted to take photos.
Was
But I've got a cousin.
Is there a panto going on in Llandudno?
Yeah, it's just finished, but I can't even remember what they were doing. But yeah, there was another panto going on in Llandudno. Arrival, if you don't mind me saying.
What were they doing?
I can't even remember. It might have been Sleeping Beauty or something like that.
Well,
genuinely don't know.
someone stopped me in M&S, and they said, "Oh, I recognise you." And I was like, "Oh, nice." And they were like, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "Oh, it's my friends in the panto." And they went, "We went to the panto last night, but at this point I'm in Llandudno, I'm not in Colwyn Bay." They went, "We went to the panto yesterday." And I was like, "I was there. Do you not remember me? They got me up on stage." And they were like, "What?" I was like, "My friend's in the panto." And they were like, "Oh, who's your friend?" And I went, "Johnny Bach." And they were like,
In Sleeping Beauty. Where's he fitting into that storyline? Right, we've got Princess Aurora. We've got Prince Charming. We've got Maleficent, the evil witch. And we've got Johnny Bear.
Saucepan bar.
There we are at time. He's playing the lute. Hey, what's he doing there? Hey, I went to see Aladdin the other day. There was Aladdin, Wishy Washy, Widow Twanky, Abanaza, and Johnny Bear.
And Robin Hood was there as well. Hiya, kids!
Hiya, kids! What are you doing here? You should just be in every panto, little Johnny Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? But yeah, I think we've only got about 4 days left. We finish on Saturday, and then I'm off in my car, driving back to Germany.
Oh, there'll be some motorway stops on the way.
Oh, I'm excited already. I've never stopped at a French services. I'm excited for that.
They've got showers.
Have they? Or douches, as some people like to call them.
What do you
enough
call them?
about the staff.
They've got these holes in the floor that they call toilets.
Have they? The French?
Yeah, some places you go, it'll just be a hole in the floor, and you just have to, like, make do. When Chucklevision went on holiday, they didn't know if the Spanish would have toilets, so they took a toilet with them, like a big porcelain toilet that they were going to plumb in.
That's funny.
We'll put that in Pottervision.
Yeah, put that in Pottervision. We'll just bring a toilet on stage. Yeah, we didn't know they'd have toilets in Carlisle.
We've got this running joke where we keep saying we'll put that in Pottervision with everything, because we went to London Dungeons. I don't know if we told this story before, but we were watching this scene where we were all in this courtroom and it was black, and the benches we were on were like electrocuted, and so like they'd buzz your bum and you'd be like, oh, and you'd jump up but when it ended, Lucas's dad grabbed Lucas's shoulder and went, you should put that in Pottervision.
Every venue we're booking for the tour. You don't happen to have electrocuting benches, do you? No, we're not interested in that. Normal seats.
Oh, we'll bring our own then. Right, take all your seating out. Yeah, so it's got to a point now where we'll just see something we can't steal. Like, I think, to be honest, 20 electrocuting benches is the height of that joke. I don't know how you could...
Yeah. We've already peaked.
Yeah.
But yeah. Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
Are you ready for a Chapter 9, Book 5 rundown?
I've not told you anything. You've just told me...
All right. Well, sorry about that. What have you got to tell me?
Well, what did I do? I went to an air raid shelter yesterday.
Did you? What are you doing that for?
It was my birthday.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't hear that word.
Okay then. I don't know why. Yeah, so I went and did that. It was in Stockport. In Stockport, they've got miles of tunnels under some sandstone that was like used for an air raid shelter.
Cool.
And
Was it spooky or was it cool?
You can go in and you get like an audio tour, and it's quite cool. It's only a £5, but it's like really interesting. But it made me realise, listening to this audio tour, it makes you realise, like sometimes history's good, and you know this is good, but then sometimes it's unnecessary history, because I'm listening to all these first-hand accounts. I don't think they had to go down there too many times, because I think Stockport wasn't bombed that much. But they were like listening to these first-hand accounts, and they were like, oh, you couldn't sleep down there. Oh, well, there was beds and that, but we were singing that much. We were all having these sing-songs for hours on end.
Yeah.
And you're like, fucking hell. It makes you realise that the people of the past weren't that different to the people of today, because that's what they'd be doing now, just some annoying cunts singing their head off, pissed. Like, why were you singing?
I know.
Go to bed.
Go to bed. We don't want to be hearing It's a Long Way to Tipperary while I'm trying to get some shut-eye. Right? So be quiet.
And
I don't think I'd be able to sleep if I knew there were bombs dropping.
Well, we wouldn't be singing. I would. I'd go right to sleep. Cozy, innit? Boom.
Oh, yeah. Nice little underground. I'd live underground. It sounds fun, like a womble.
That's interesting. Mole Man saying he'd live underground. What a surprise. But the thing is...
Yeah.
Bom-da-lom-da-lee-dom-dom. Did someone say bom-da-lom-da-lee-dom-dom? No.
It's Mole Man.
Yeah, and also, there was a toilet down there. There was lavatories down there that you weren't allowed to use. I tried. I got told off for. But they weren't plumbed in anymore. But there was curtains in front of them instead of a door. And they said, we had to fight hard for these curtains, you know. Because the council said, because the council were reluctant to give them curtains for the toilet. Because they weren't sure what people would be doing behind the curtains.
Eh?
Having a shit and piss.
Having a shit and piss. Yeah? Who knows how long those bombs are going to be falling? You know, if you need to go, you need to go. It's a call of nature.
Well, we'd prefer the idea of someone sat having a crap with everyone looking at them than for a moment someone might sneak in there and have sex in a toilet.
Yeah. 100%. No, but do you imagine that? Trying to have a crap and then you've got 50 people circled round you. There'll be bluebirds over. It put me off, I think.
As if you'd open the curtain and start singing.
I would. When I'm cleaning windows.
Never mind windows, give that arse a clean, young man. Oh.
Come on, Mr. Formby. Yeah. Yeah, I like a bit of George Formby, me. We used to do a thing called Bandwagon, and it was songs and comedy from the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. And I used to come on pretending to be George Formby, singing a few of his hits.
Where did you do this?
Well, once we did... I don't know if I've ever told this story. We once did it in a church. We went, I think it was somewhere in England. And we took this van and we drove to a church. And we were in a rush. We were late and we only had about 20 minutes to get set up. Mm-hmm. So the lady drove the van, parked it, and then we got out. And it was only later we realised... that she'd parked on a grave. So the van, there was the length of the van, and then a headstone at the end of it. And we moved it after the show. So for about 3 hours, that van was it was parked on somebody's grave.
Imagine being in that grave on your own.
Oh, what's that? That's hurting me. What's that on top of me?
That's funny.
Yeah, we did it a few times. I think we did it in Holyhead, where we're going.
Parked on a grave?
In the Echeldra Centre. Yeah, but there was all sorts. There was Morecambe and Wise, Two Ronnies, Vera Lynn, Benny Hill. We did a bit of that. Ernie, the fastest milkman in the West. Mm-hmm. There was all sorts.
Oh.
Did you get any souvenirs from the shelter?
No. Because it closed at 5, and as we come out, we were leaving at 10 to 5, yeah? And I go to Lucy, I was like, should we look around the gift shop? She goes, they're closing in 10 minutes. I'm like, how long is it I'm going to fucking browse?
Come on, we can get a commemorative bomb.
10 minutes.
Come on, Stockport Shelter Fart Putty. Let's get some of that. It's Stockport Air Raid Shelter Rubber.
It made me realise, though, going down that air shelter, why Britain is like, why everyone's as miserable as they are. Because there's all these posters everywhere. These like this wartime mentality of do your bit, no slacking. What can you do for your country? Yeah, so all like the old generation, all like this. Your Majesty, Your Majesty. And it's like never ended that. Like in workplaces now, they'll be like, "Oh, you're not working hard enough. Pull your weight." And it's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa! Don't be bringing your wartime mentality onto me. War's over, yeah."
War's over, Grandad.
Queen's dead. No more of that.
It's a king now.
Do you know it's been almost a year? This has been a year-long joke. There's been 1 year since we've been doing that.
Is it?
For those listening, we are saluting with a tongue out the corner of our mouth.
And the eyes going up.
Because it was the Northwest Comedy Awards a year ago. And it's happening again next week.
There was a goblin man, wasn't
There was a goblin man on the front row. Someone was like, "Oh, has anyone been on telly this year?" And this bloke went.
We've turned it into a salute, haven't we?
It's the Pottervision salute.
Hey, can the public vote for you?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because
you're up for an award this year,
I've been
you?
put forward for the social media award. I'm guessing because I make videos and I put them out and stuff. Also up for a social media award is like podcasts and stuff. So podcasts are up for the podcast award, but they're also up for the social media award. I think it's because no one really makes videos or anything in the Northwest. The only people who put out content is podcasts. So there's, so I don't know. So our podcast will win that.
Hey, where's our nomination? We are the #1 Harry Potter Manchester-based podcast in the world.
We're a Europe-based podcast.
We're a Europe-based podcast. Oh, yeah. Yeah, why isn't there an award for that? Best Europe-based podcast.
Best Harry Potter-based podcast.
Yeah.
Alright, and the winner is Potterless. He's not even in the country. Neither are you, Lucas. I'm holding you up on FaceTime.
You could have me accepting the award via video link,
FaceTime.
like they're doing the Oscars.
I'm walking you around on FaceTime. You're like this. Huh? Who's there?
I've not seen you for ages. Yeah, right.
Who's that? Is that Elbow?
When am I going to be nominated in the Central Germany Comedy Awards? That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for my call.
Well, how long?
Well, I won't get social media, but I could get podcast, couldn't I?
Yeah.
Best podcast in a foreign language. Lukas Kirkby, Pottervision podcast, English.
It's fucking gloomy today. What's the weather like over there?
Let's have a look. I have to have the blinds down in this room because otherwise the sun will fade the colour of my dad's CDs. It's a bit grey.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, after going to your hometown on Friday, it made me realise how majestic, I think I said this on Double Vision, but how majestic Llandudno is. The buildings.
Oh yeah, it's lovely.
There's a lot of money that have gone into them buildings.
Oh yeah, well a lot of them are owned by the Mostyn Estates. And I think they're like millionaires who own Llandudno.
There you go.
I think they're lords or something. I think it's Lord Mostyn or something.
Oh, hello, Lord.
Hello, my lord and my lady.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Princess of Romania had something to do with Llandudno as well. There's a lot of history that I don't really know about.
Well, do you know what I say to that?
What?
Knuckle down!
Knuckle down, Ross! Hey, it's been at least 50 episodes since we've made a Knuckle Down Ross League of Gentlemen reference. So there you are.
We
Hope you
made one
enjoyed it.
last week.
No, we never said Knuckle Down Ross last
We
week.
say it all the time.
Do we? Knuckle Down Ross. We don't say it all the time because it never came up in the bingo on our 100th episode.
No, that's true.
Live show.
That's true.
Yeah. Maybe that'll be in the 200th episode. Knuckle Down Ross.
Right, Lucas.
And if anyone knows what we're going on about, let me know.
Can you tell me about the moaning of Mrs. Weasley?
Oh! The woes of Mrs.
Woes.
Weasley. The woes. Whoa! The courtroom is finished. Everyone's leaving, not paying attention to Harry, and he's making his way back. And who should he see talking to the Minister of Magic but Lucius Malfoy, known to him now as an actual death gobbler? Right? He's thinking, what's all that about? Next minute, they're back at number 12 Grimmauld Place, and hey, somebody's been made a prefect. I wonder who that could be. Hermione, obviously, and Ron Weasley. That's right, you thought it was going to be Harry, didn't you? Well, so did everybody else. They're a bit confused. Why is Ron, that lovely ginger nugget, why has he been made a prefect and Harry hasn't? Who knows? But Harry's a bit pissed off about it and he gets a lot of dark thoughts and feelings. Why was it not me? But Mrs. Weasley is very pleased with Ronald and she buys him a new broom and they have a party. But then later on, Mrs. Weasley goes to clear up a boggart and she's horrified because the boggart is turning into all of her children dead. Ron's dead, Ginny's dead, Fred's dead, George's dead, Arthur's dead, Bill's dead, Charlie's dead, Percy's dead, and Harry's dead, even though he's not her child.
Dead.
They're all dead, right? And that's her buggets. And then she just cries for a bit, and that's the end of the woes of Mrs. Weasley. Whoa, what a chapter.
What a chapter. Starts off, he's innocent. Harry realises he's innocent even though no one said so, and he begins sprinting out of the courtroom. Nothing screams innocent, does it, like a man sprinting away from a courtroom. Get me out of here! I'm flying to Thailand! Like any innocent man.
Do you know what? I think once you get, like, past 12, 13, you should never be seen sprinting anywhere. In whatever walk of life. Like, me, I can't remember the last time I've sprinted. Where would I do that? In a supermarket? Imagine that. Out on the street. Like a jog, yeah, you know, someone jogging, but proper sprint out and about.
Sprinting is funny, right? I was in year 9 or 10. I put my hand up at school. I was like, geography. I was like, can I go to the toilet? And they went, yeah. I went, opened the door. I think I might have told this story before, but I opened the door of the classroom, closed it, and began a sprint, right? I sprinted down this corridor, forgetting completely that everyone in the classroom could see through a window what was like the whole corridor.
Yeah.
So I come back from the toilet, like not thinking anything. I sprinted for fun. I come back, sit down. This girl sat next to me, Stephanie something, and she's laughing so hard. And I go, what? And she goes, why did you sprint? Because if someone says, can I go to the toilet, then they sprint. People, the thought is, he was on the verge of shitting himself.
Yeah. He must have been touching cloth. Because the thing is, I've even been late for a bus. Like, trying to catch a bus, but I've never sprinted for it. I do a bit of a jog, a bit of a run, but never proper.
I sprinted for a bus in your hometown the other day.
Did you? The one that was £3.70?
£3.70 for a 20-minute journey.
Yeah, that's naughty, that, isn't it?
I said to Lucy, I was like, I thought people of Wales were like, so like most of the UK were like low income or like, you know, didn't have much money. And she goes, well, they would be with bus prices that high.
Yeah, it's all going to the bus drivers. But at least you got a free lift back with me, didn't you?
I don't think we should talk about that. That's it, listeners. We drove drunk. No, I'm only messing.
No, we didn't. We were just squeezed in, weren't we?
Lukas gets in the passenger seat. Holly, Lewis and Lucy in the back. Martina in the front. We attached a rope round my neck and we dragged me behind the car.
Yeah.
And we wrote on the back windscreen, just married.
I was sat on the top of the car on an armchair and I was steering the wheels with a broomstick with a brick on the end of it. Yeah? And I accidentally went down a hill and the stick got stuck off the brake and we drove straight into an open bed van and there was an explosion of feathers.
Lukas walked out the back of the car, noticed a builder had bent over, bottom semi-revealed, spat toothpaste onto the builder's bum.
It's a completely different episode, but I did that as well. I've always got a tube of toothpaste in my car door, just in case I ever see a builder's bottom. So then I can quickly brush my teeth and spit it out into their bum crack, so that they think it's a bird shit with minty shit.
Right, just so, for anyone who doesn't know, on an episode of Mr. Bean, he's brushing his teeth in the car, he spits it out the window, and it lands on a builder's bum crack. The builder turns round and thinks a bird's just shit on him. Yeah. And
then he smells the bird poo and wonders why it's minty.
But the thing is, imagine coming up with that. Right, we've got Mr. Bean getting ready in the car. That's funny. He's brushing his teeth. How can we make spitting out the window funny? Lands on a builder's bum. Put it down. Put it down.
I think a builder's bum would make any scene so much funnier. You know, I think that scene in Only Fools and Horses where the bar opens and he falls through the bar. They call it one of the funniest scenes of all time, but I reckon if there'd have been a builder facing the other way in that scene, it would have been 10 times funnier.
Why, he falls into a builder's bum?
Yeah, definitely.
Hand into it.
Yeah, or that bit in the Vicar of Dibley where she jumps into a puddle and falls into it.
If that'd be a builder's bum.
A little builder's bum floating in the puddle. I think that'd be really funny. Not a dead builder, drowned in the puddle. I'm not saying that. And you can see his bottom. I just mean he's like, I don't know, bobbing for apples or something.
I think that'd be much funnier, right? So they're jumping in puddles, and then Vicar Tipley jumps in one, and there's a dead builder in there.
And he's got a bit of his bum crack out.
Me and Lukas sat at home on Christmas Day watching that.
I'd love it, honestly. I'd watch that a million times over.
Right. Picture Mr. Bean on an airplane. He's just grabbed a sick bag and he's going to pop it over someone's head. But instead of a head, it's a builder getting his one holiday a year. And he's bending forward to tie his shoelaces. And Mr. Bean pops a bag of sick over a builder's bum.
Come on, that'd be funnier. I'd love that.
Well, there was that trope in Mr. Bean where there was that blue three-wheeled Robin Reliant that would always get knocked off the road or tipped upside down.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. There should have been an extra one of a builder's bum always getting a bit of something on it. That episode where Mr. Bean's trying to get rid of the steak tartare, Builder's bending over and he wipes some in the builder's bum.
Or even better, combine the two running gags and have the three-wheeler car roll down the hill and the front tyre getting stuck in the builder's bum.
Right. Mr. Bean opens. He gets dropped onto the street from a spaceship, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Pans up. Builder's bum.
See, we're having a laugh, but I'd find these so funny if they were real. They sound brilliant.
Mr. Bean came out of a builder's bum.
Mr. Bean came out of a builder's bum.
Right. Pottervision.
Oh, yeah. So that's the first point. He came out of the courtroom. Now, next.
Malfoy.
Harry starts joking about toilets.
Okay.
With Mr. Weasley.
Go on.
And I can't blame him. I think toilets are very funny. But it shows you how he's feeling a little bit better, doesn't it? Because he was very nervous before the hearing. And now afterwards he's joking about pee-pee and poo-poo.
Now it's Builder's bum this, Builder's bum that. What next, Harry? You start a Harry Potter podcast? Vain?
Yeah, come on, Harry. There's nothing funny about pee-pee poo-poo and Builder's bottom. Alright?
Lucius
Malfoy. Then who does he bump into talking to Fudge? But Lucius Malfoy. The Weasleys. Yeah.
Right,
it's a blonde-haired Jason Isaacs.
Malfoy turns up and he comments on Harry Potter being able to get out of many a sticky situation. He says he even refers to Harry as being snake-like.
Oh, yeah.
To which...
And he calls him Patronus Potter.
To which Harry replies, snake-like am I? Let's see how snake-like I can be.
Hello, Lucius.
You do that now as well. I do, yeah. Is that something you can catch?
Everyone's at it. Isn't that right, Dumbledore? Yes. Oh. Everybody does it.
Yeah, I'm doing it too. You've not got it, Hagrid.
No, you can't do it right. No. Grow up. Oh, grow up. Well, it's not Lucius Malfoy. Normally he's a bit more like... He's usually above all this, like, petty name calling. It seemed a bit childish of him to all this Patronus Potter and all these silly names. What's up with him?
Yeah, I don't know. And it's funny because he goes to, what's he called? Ronnie Weasley or something. No, not Ronnie Weasley. Arthur Weasley.
Ronnie Weasley.
he goes, what is it again you do here? You bewitch Muggle artifacts. And he's like, no, I don't. But you do. You do that.
You do. Come on. You do that. Yeah? I'm a Death Eater, but you do that. You do bewitch Muggle artifacts, don't you?
They're always getting their back up over, what's it called? They're always getting their back up over when people point out the truth to them.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, why have you said that? Because it's true.
Look, let he without sin cast the first stone. Don't be all high and mighty if you're going to get arsey about what you've done yourself. You do bewitch Muggle artifacts. Every day of every week you're pissing about in that garage, making that car fly.
Yeah, and also, why is that such a big problem in this world? Don't bewitch Muggle artifacts. What are you on about artifact? When they say artifact, they're acting like it's an ancient artifact, that's not replaceable. Their only fear is that it's going to get into Muggle hands or something. But I don't know, doesn't matter, does it? If you live in the Muggle world, why can't you make little adjustments to things? How is that any different to the Weasleys having washing up that does itself? Oh, what if Muggles get a load of that washing up? Or what if Muggles get a load of that clock that tells you where everyone is? They're not going to, are they? Because it's at his house.
I know. Well, because everything's a Muggle artifact, really. Like when Dumbledore turns those candles on with his finger. That's enchanting a Muggle artifact. Yeah. You're using magic to turn the candles on.
Oh, can't be arsed. But they get back, don't they? He gets back to Grimmauld Place, and the twins have got a little war chant that Harry was proven innocent or not guilty.
Yeah.
They're chanting, "He got off. He got off." It's catchy, that, isn't it? He got off. Oh, it's a good chant, that. I'll be singing that in my sleep. Not.
Not. Well, got off is like, I think when I was in school, if you got off with somebody, you'd snog somebody.
He got off. I'll get off with you in a minute, friend George.
Harry. He got off. With who? With who? With himself. Oh.
And also,
he got off with himself.
Why is this house taking so long to clean? 50 of them living there, and they're wizards.
I know, that should be an afternoon's work.
Get on with it.
Oh, there's a boggart upstairs. We need to sort that this weekend. There's only about 4 rooms upstairs. Why haven't you sorted that in the first week? You've been there months. It's Mummy Weasley. Right, she doesn't even let them enjoy themselves. Harry's been, set free. He's going back to school, happy days. And she's like, "Shut up! Stop chanting!" Right, come on, let them celebrate. They're kids. And, their best friend has just been, allowed to use magic for the rest of his life. Let them have a bit of fun, you miserably kill.
Yeah. And also, Hermione...
He could have been expelled.
Hermione says about, what's he called? Sirius Black. She says she part suspects him of wanting you to be expelled so you can be an exile like him. Yeah. And then she repeats something that Molly Weasley said, where she said, we think Sirius gets confused as to who Harry is. She thinks he's his father, yeah. What an accusation.
Yeah.
Imagine hearing that. Yeah. He's saying that shit in the same house. Don't say it in the same house. Write it down. Burn it after. Imagine hearing that. Oh, talking about me, were you? Yeah, we just think you're bonkers. Cheers.
Hey, I can hear my name. They're talking about me. What are they saying? I think Tom gets his nana and his auntie mixed up. Hey? Why are they saying that about me?
Yeah.
But I do get it, Sirius will be a bit lonely without Harry, and he has created a bond with him. But, just stick your face in a fire once a week, have a chat with him. Just because you're in 12 Grimmauld Place doesn't mean you can have a natter.
Hermione and Harry get notified that they are prefects. What an honour. I think they left that out of the film, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's just Hermione and Ron, isn't it?
Yeah. But they didn't put that in the films, did they?
No, I don't think so.
And then Fred and George start taking the piss. I think I'd batter Fred and George for taking the piss. Like,
Yeah.
what have you two ever done with your lives? Nothing. Now I'm a prefect and you can't stand it. You've really shown your true colours. And Harry as well on top of that. Jealous as they come. He's not been made a prefect. Why is he surprised? He's like, oh, Ron and not me. It's like, you mean the boy who spent the last 4 years breaking every rule at that school? What a shocker. Guess it's off to Thailand with you, Harry.
I know. Well, I agree with you about Fred and George because, Harry, Ron and Hermione have been so supportive of their, Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, their sweet business that they're making. Harry has supported them financially with, like, however many hundreds of galleons. And now Ron gets the prefect and I'm like, oh, little Ronnie, perfect Ronnie.
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
Gonna put me in detention,
We're
are
supportive of you and your silly sweets.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah? So shut up. Yeah, they can be quite mean, I think, Fred and George.
Were you prefect?
No, I was a prefect in primary school.
Weren't we all?
We didn't really have any responsibilities. Were you?
I think so, yeah. Maybe. Don't know.
There weren't really that many responsibilities. It was just, like, I think once a week you had to, like, look after the little kiddies in the playground.
Yeah, I did a bit of that. Long after I left school.
Yeah, but that was it.
Just kidding.
But what's the selection process? Is it one boy and one girl from every house become prefects? Is that the idea? Because Ron, like, I definitely understand Harry not getting it. He should not be a prefect whatsoever. But Ron's an odd decision. Surely there are nicer boys that should get it. What about Dean Thomas?
I think it is definitely a strategic move to encourage Ron to be better and more responsible.
Yeah, maybe. The helping hand he needs.
Give him more responsibilities. He's not going to be murking around with Harry, is he?
No. Well, we hope not. Time will tell. It's his chance to prove himself.
Mummy Weasley says, well done, I love you. I want to give you a gift. She says, do you want new trousers? She says, do you want a cauldron? He says, I'd like a broom. She goes, ooh.
Oh.
Gut punch. Oh.
All right.
Fuck. Why'd you offer then?
And she gets him under the clean sweep.
But she comes back from the shops and she presents him with a wrapped up broom, and it says Ron took the broom with a moan of longing. Right, you're not having it.
Yeah. That broom is not being left alone with you.
I don't know what you've...
What is that moan of longing? Ooh. No, I'm taking it back to the shop.
I don't know what you've got planned for it, right? But that moan is not a good sign. Here's your broom. Right, no. Give it here. Oh, let me take it to my room. No.
No. You making a noise like that so instantly is worrying. Give me that broom. Oh, no. Naughty boy. This is why you're not allowed nice
Come
things.
on. Right.
It's all a bit excessive, isn't it? Like, Molly Weasley set up this party. She's got a banner. Congratulations, Ron and Hermione. There's, a meal. There's all sorts. Really? Hey, quick, get the party things out. You're on the school council. Hey, I've got a buffet organised and an entertainer. Hey, what changes are you going to bring to Class 7E? Brilliant.
Ron, will you put that broom down and speak? Oh.
You're not having 10 minutes a day you're allowed with that.
Considering Harry Potter...
Getting addicted.
Considering Harry Potter had no friends or family but 4 years ago, do you know what I mean? It's so fascinating to see how quick he turns against the people he has for the smallest things. He's getting irritated about them so quickly. Like, oh, Ron's been made prefect. Fuck him. And you're like, mate, his family have accepted you. What's this jealousy for? Just be happy, you miserable git.
Yeah, look at the big picture. You're not prefect, rightly, because you don't follow the rules or listen to teachers. But you've got friends. Ooh. You've got family.
Let me raise one thing that I found questionable. I listened to it twice. I was like, what the fuck? But it's something that Kingsley said. Did you notice it?
No, what does he say?
He says, why Dumbledore didn't make Potter a prefect? It doesn't say why didn't Dumbledore make Potter a prefect. It says, why Dumbledore didn't make Potter... Why didn't Dumbledore make Potter a prefect? Why Dumbledore didn't make Potter a prefect?
Why Dumbledore do that?
I was like, oh, hang on. Oh, God.
Very interesting. Well, and another weird line. It goes, Mad-Eye Moody stumped in. That's not a verb, stumped. To describe somebody walking in with a stump. Here he comes, stumping in. No, we don't say that. We say walk in. Even if his leg is artificial.
Mad-Eye Moody.
We don't like that. Yeah? That's not even a 20 years ago thing. We didn't say that 20 years ago either. Right?
No, it's PC got mad. No, it's not. It's politeness.
It's nothing to do with political correctness. Yeah? God.
Then Ron is dead. Just like Reddit from...
Hermione, I think Hermione's a bit rude talking to Lupin in this party because she's talking about elf rights and she's like, oh, the elves get treated like this. It's a bit like how werewolves are treated. It's like, you know, those little elves, Professor Lupin. It's a bit like you, really, isn't it? You're like that, aren't you? I'm not like that Dobby there. Or that
hey,
creature.
Lupin. That's you.
That's you, that. You know him whacking himself on the head with a lamp? That's you. You're like that, ironing your own fingers.
You know that's... you know that thing smelling that crusty sock? That's you written all over that.
Yeah. Reminds me of you. Wasn't I saying, Ron, the other day? Wasn't I saying that reminded me of Lupin? Yeah, you were, yeah. It reminds me of you, that.
See?
Just, I thought you'd like it.
Oh, you don't like it?
You don't like it. Hey, there's also some bloody dodgy deals going on. Mundungus Fletcher is supplying Fred and George with venomous tentacular seeds, which are like a class 3 untradeable good. Yeah. What's going on there? It's a bit dodgy, isn't it? I don't like it, and Harry doesn't like it because he's financing all this smuggling.
He's going to get in trouble, isn't he?
And then we get a moment where Mad-Eye Moody shows Harry a photograph of the Order of the Phoenix.
And who was in it? Daedalus Diggle.
Hey, he's back. It's Daedalus Diggle. Hey, we've missed him, haven't we?
I think we first saw him letting fireworks off over when Dumbledore was announced... Not when Voldemort was announced dead. Hey, hey! Right, withdraw them fireworks, please, Daedalus. Ooh.
Oh, and we'll see you in 4 books' time. All right. I really like this bit because he shows them this photograph of the old Order of the Phoenix, and there's like loads of people there. And he's on about who died and how they died and what's happened to all these people. And it gives a real sense of how enormous the First Wizarding War was. And I think for the first time it really gives a sense of scale of like how crazy it was just before Harry was born.
Mm.
Mm. Yeah, and Harry was like, oh, a bit disturbed by it. He's like, oh, don't want Moody showing me this. But I think I'd be fascinated if I was Harry. I'd love to see who my parents were hanging around with and who all these people are.
Mm.
Hmm. And then finally, the final part of the chapter is Mrs. Weasley upstairs, and she starts seeing her boggarts, which I thought you just get one boggart, like you get one fear. It's either clowns or it's spiders. You don't get a montage. That's not your boggart. You don't get loads. It's either dead husband or it's dead Charlie, or you get one of them. You don't get a little montage together. It's not clowns, then spiders. You're greedy, Mrs. Weasley, with your fears, aren't you? You're greedy with them.
I'd be laughing if at the dinner table that night I'd be like, didn't know you had so many fears, Mrs. Weasley.
Oh, Harry as well, he's not even in your family.
You're afraid of them all dying. I've only got one fear, and that's it's a big spider. But you, with your 10 fears, you're mad. Yeah. You're tapped, love, you're tapped.
10 fears. My fear's just a clown in a Jack-in-the-Box. Look at yours.
10 dead kids. Pathetic.
Oh, dear. Yeah. But it gives you an insight into Mrs. Weasley's psyche. She's constantly worried about her children. Yeah, and I understand that. Voldemort's back and all that rubbish. But why not have them all together dead? Why are they separate in a weird slideshow of death? Yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah, ridiculous. Ron's body, but with clown makeup on
it. yeah, I'd be interested to see what they would have turned into.
Ridiculous.
Right, Mr. Weasley's dead. Ridiculous. Oh, he's playing charades now. He's playing charades.
But still dead.
Oh, what's Ginny doing, hey? She's doing majorettes. Whoa. Whoa.
Right. How many dead Ron Weasleys out of 5 are you giving this chapter?
It was alright this chapter, wasn't it? We got away from the courtroom at last. I feel like we're finally getting to the end of the pre-Hogwarts bit of the book. Bit of boggart stuff, a party. It was alright. It was a middling chapter, if you don't mind me saying. So I will give it 3 dead Ron Weasleys out of 5.
Lovely. I, myself, loved this chapter. It's a chapter that stayed with me ever since I first read it, like 15 years ago or something. Harry, sprinting down the corridors of life. Mrs. Weasley holding Ron's dead body in her arms. Oh, real gripping stuff. For that reason, I give it 5 dead Ron Weasleys out of 5.
Fantastic!
Right, are you ready for this week's quiz? Quizzicky,
Yes.
quiz. Gonna ask you some questions. How well will you
do?
Quizzicky, quiz.
Quizzicky, quiz.
Gonna ask you about Harry Potter, Lukas. How well will you do?
Do.
Question 1. What flapped around Mr. Weasley's head when they got in the lift?
Oh, a letter. Like an envelope, a message.
No, memos. Question 2.
That's what I mean. That's what I meant.
It doesn't matter what you meant. It's what you say. Right.
Hey, come on, that's right. I meant a message. A memo.
Question 2. What was the war chant the Weasley twins chanted when Harry got back?
He got off. He got off.
Okay. Correct. What would Ron sponsor Hermione to do about spew?
To shut up about it.
Correct. Who was made a prefect?
Ron and Hermione.
What did Ron take the... How did Ron take the broom from Mrs. Weasley?
He snatched it.
No, with a moan of longing.
Oh, no.
Unfortunately, Mr. Kirkby, you have lost the quiz. Quiz.
Good.
What?
This
Good.
must be... What?
It's good.
I thought
Good.
you were just doing a weirdly different theme.
If you want.
And
Right,
now
go on.
it is time for the nation's second favourite segment. It's Hedwig's Droppings. We're not alluding to owl poo. We're not alluding to ploppings. We mean the messages you send in when we allude to Hedwig's Droppings. What's in a beak this week? Well, if the computer will let me look at it, I've got a lovely 5-star review. And who's given us this 5-star review, eh? Well, it's none other than... Let me move that, because something's happening with this silly computer. Right, we've had a 5-star review from Karina JG. And Karina JG says, one of my favourite podcasts. She says, I've been listening to the Pottervision boys since June 2022, and I'm always in hysterics listening to each episode. I've also recently joined the Patreon so I can get my weekly fix and my baby kisses. 5 stars, Your Honour. So thank you very much, Karina JG. That's very nice of you. Now, we've also got a load of new patrons. We're going to get through another 5 today. They're racking up, which is lovely news for us. Now, the first one, we've got a brand new baby Harry, and it's Annie Hall.
Oh, me.
It's you now.
Annie Hall. You have just, I don't know. You are a millionaire, baby. You are playing in the back garden of your parents' stately home. They are so wealthy, they don't even have time to spend on you. Does that make sense? I think so. Sounds like something, doesn't it? So you're playing alone in the back garden, and you stand upon a disused well that had been boarded up. Unfortunately, you fall through the well. All the way to the bottom, where you were attacked by no other than, you guessed it, bats.
Oh.
Me, an onlooker, putting my head through the gates of your family's stately home. I see the whole thing. I dive into the well before tying a rope round my leg to save you from the bats. I grab you. I pull us up the well. I give you a few kisses. I run to your family home, banging on the doors. And I say to your parents, look, it's your baby. She fell down the well. And they go, right, what? They go, what's with all these bite marks on her? I go, it was the bats. And they're like, yeah, I bet. And I didn't like the way they treated me. So in a few months, I'm going to wait for them outside of an opera. Anyway, who's next?
There you go, Annie. Hey, that was a special one. You had the kisses and then the story continued. Next up, we've got a brand new baby Ron, and it's Kate Hammond.
Kate Hammond. Wow. Your home planet, you're an alien. Your home planet is about to explode. Your parents decide to seal you in a little rocket ship that can only contain one and set you on course for Earth, which has an atmosphere and people that you can survive amongst. Just about to seal you in, there is like a little plume of smoke, like in a film, to like demonstrate that there's going to be like a little, pressurized atmosphere in there. But using the plume of smoke, me, a goblin, crawl aboard. Because I, a goblin, do not want to spend my time on a planet that is about to explode. It's Krypton. I sleep by your side in this rocket ship for days at an end, watching over you on course for Earth. We crash land on a farm. Boom. Yeah, making a big crater. The rocket opens up. I think, this is my time to leave. Mwah, 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 mwah. And then I run away from the rocket. I don't know what happens to you after that.
Here we go, Kate. Hope you enjoyed that. We've also got another baby Harry, and it's Hattie Atkins.
Hattie Atkins. You are a billionaire arms dealer in America.
This is the Iron Man one.
Oi! Shh.
Oh, sorry.
For some reason, I can't remember why, you are abroad with your arms, probably to provide them first hand to give to soldiers or whatever, or to demonstrate them. But unfortunately, for one reason or another, me and my gang of baddies attack your base, and we keep you hostage because we know who you are, billionaire arms dealer. We drag you into a cave and make you do something in there. I forget what it is, but we make you do something. You begin to build yourself a suit that will get you away from us, because you're on life support because your heart's been ripped out for some reason. I don't know why. So you build this suit and you come kicking out of the cave, right? All metal and big. I'm amazed. I was like, do you know what? I was just going to like... I wanted to kill this person, keep them hostage, but I'm so impressed by their ingenuity, their creativity, and their like know-how that they've managed to build this suit. I'm gonna just quickly, and as you're escaping and shooting all my best friends and loved ones, I come up to you, lift your mask up a bit, and mwah, 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 on the cheek. You give me a little grin and then fly away.
There you go, Hattie. And we've got baby Harry, and it's Char.
Char?
Yeah, it might be Char, short for Charlotte or Charlie. I'm not sure, but it's Char.
Char, you are a tiny little person. A baby. And it's World War II. And you want to help the war effort, but they won't let a baby join the army. Nor should they. But you're at a carnival, and for some reason, you get swept up in this experimental thing. They've got this new procedure to help the war where they'll inject a baby with a serum to see if the baby turns into a super baby. And so you volunteer. I'm watching.
I've not seen this one.
Right.
Which Marvel film's this?
What do you mean?
Go on.
Right, so you get in this big chair, this big thing. You stand up in it, and they're going to inject you in the hopes that it'll turn you into like a superhuman or something, right? You get in it, right? And then they cover you up, and they fill it or something with goop or gunk, and they open it up, and it hasn't worked. Just a baby still. But nonetheless, I take pity on you, and and someone goes, "What are you doing that for?" I go, "Huh?"
There you go,
How do you mean?
And finally, for today, we've got a baby Hermione, and that is Courtney Murray.
Courtney Murray. You are on a field trip to a spider museum.
Hey, I wondered when this one was coming. Oh yeah, what happens?
You're on a field trip to a spider museum, and you're taking photographs, even though it says no photographs. You shouldn't be doing that. I'm a security guard. I get so angry that you're taking photographs. I grab your hand, peel back your jumper, and bite you on the arm. I think to myself, what have I done? I've grossly overstepped my responsibilities. Worry that I've just broken blood on your arm, and let you go.
There we go. And that was inspired by the famous Marvel movie Security Guard Man, where he gets bitten by a security guard and then gains his powers of sitting in the corner and reading. So there we go, Courtney, thank you very much. And that was the end of Hedwig's Droppings. This has been the Pottervision podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and a happy new year to all of you. Just a reminder, we're on tour next month. We're going to, I think there's like 22 dates. We've got like 4 dates in Scotland, probably about 10, 12 dates in England, 3 dates in Wales, and 1 date in Ireland. So we'd love to see you there at one of our lovely dates. It's from February till the beginning of March. All the dates and all the ticket links are now available at pottervision.com. Please buy your tickets, and don't wait till near the show. Buy them early so that we have less anxiety about ticket sales. It'd be great to see you there. And as always, we've got a Patreon, patreon.com/Pottervision. The most recent episode is a video diary and documentary of Tom coming to see me in Pantoland. So that's a good bit of fun. And that's the 45th episode, so there's loads of bonus content. You can also have access to keyrings, stickers, posters, all sorts. Personalised videos from me and Tom. You just support us on there and you'll be helping us out a great deal. Next week, we will be on episode 105, and we'll be on chapter 10 of The Order of the Phoenix, Lunar Lovegood. You have been a global corporation, Tom Lawrinson.
And you have been the ever so charming Lukas Kirkby.
Goodbye.
Pottervision.
Thank you for listening to the Pottervision podcast. The music was performed by Jack Evans. If you'd like bonus content and to support the show, you can visit patreon.com/Pottervision.